Hi, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Mind the Gap AI Solutions. I'm María Martell, CEO and host of the show. Today, I'm going to be speaking with Nicolas Medicamento. He's the world's #1 hospitality trainer and international speaker, redefining the food and beverage industry. He's also known as Dr. Cocktail, who's going to be talking today with the digital doctor. So, from doctor to doctor, Nicolas, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Maria. Thank you. Great to be here.
We're going to start strong. Tell me, what's your boldest prediction in the food and beverage industry regarding to AI?
Oh, very interesting question. Okay, I say that in terms of prediction, I'm very happy when it comes to use technology, especially because we are a great human being. So let's use it for the good. So how I see it is that soon the role of part of the job that consultants do, for example, of predicting the revenue or looking at the wastage or seeing where is the most popular thing ever. So soon, all of this data will be automatically gathered. Some places, for example, they actually have a camera on top of the trash bin where the camera recognizes the plates that is the leftover of the food from the table. And the camera recognizes this food that is being wasted, and they calculate automatically how much weight is in the bin after it's been wasted. So they calculate also if it's doing well the plate or not. So what I see is that this is really somewhere happening. So what I see is that this kind of moment of, okay, well, we need to figure out how much meat we have left in the fridge based on our sales. So these things I think is almost already disappearing, if I want to say that. So I see that there's a huge opportunity there with the AI and systems when it comes to optimizing the side of it. When it comes to beverage, I'd say there are some places that I noticed they're actually doing the automatic stock take is called. So this means there is actually a phone with an app. You have a picture of the bottle in front of you, and the person just scroll up and down the line based on where he or she sees the line of the liquid. So this is something that is way faster than usual stock take, that you need to take the bottle, look at the bottle, kind of figure out is it 0.3 or 0.2 milliliters left, something like that. So AI not replacing 100% because it cannot be possible. Like, someone needs to explain the plate, someone needs to explain the drink you're drinking to create that experience. But the AI or robotic, when it comes to robotics and AI applied together, they are a big part of the future of the industry. And I love that. I mean, you see, I don't know if you saw it, but there are plenty of mini robots that are carrying already the food on trays. They just follow the lines, and it's a great thing. So this means one of the usual job they are done. We don't need a barback, we don't need a commis waiter, for example. But still, we need someone to serve the food, right? So that's the beauty of using something I don't need to think about it, using a tool that is coming anyway, I know it's coming, and also optimizing the timing too of guest experience.
So you're based here in London, like me, and
Yes.
you recently been to Dominican Republic and Mexico, right? Can you explain us what exactly did you do there?
Yes, absolutely. I'm based in London, and I'm lucky enough to travel enough. I say never enough, traveling. I love traveling. It's beautiful to discover countries and cultures, meeting people. And Dominican Republic and Mexico, they were two different situations, but we just did the same trip, of course, for time constraint. So I'm a consultant and a trainer. So what I do, I have the strength to enhance every human being's capacity through the training. So what I did in both hotels, I jumped there in Dominican Republic was my second time already in this hotel, and it was a follow-up training. So seeing how is going the operation, how is it going the team, and how can be optimized or what needs to be improved. And then after Dominican Republic from Punta Cana, I flew to Mexico, close to Puerto Vallarta. And again, it was another hotel. They're both 5-star luxury hotel that I usually work in. And this was actually an hotel newly open. And what I did there was to review what they have done so far with the files that the company sent to them. And how did they apply some things, some systems that we sent, or if they didn't, what can we do to apply them in the short period of time. And I stayed with the team literally the whole time, the whole day, because for me, I always believe that being a consultant, it's my own way of saying advisor, consultant, trainer, I need to get the best out of them. And if that means requiring staying 18, 19 hours on shift, just because you have a different shift pattern, so I need to meet all the team, I need to stay with them as much as possible, I'm going to do it, because my time is literally minimized. I'm not going to stay there 3-4 months. I stay there for 10 days, 2 weeks. So I want to make sure that the team, first of all, feel the love, feel also that I'm on it, and I want to support them in the growth. So training, it's the most important aspect, especially when it comes to the mindset that is required to have when you work in this kind of environment. So that's what I did. Training, enhancing people, training on leadership. I did a multiple training on leadership team, simply because it's very important that we know how to lead and how to empower your own team. So I always believe that in the power of communication and leadership, that are important things that we need in our daily life anyway.
These days, you can find mentorships online, but yet these hotels are hiring you, so you go in person. What do you think about that?
I have to be honest. Despite I offer mentorship, or because I'm a coach, I do offer coaching programs or system. I can do one-to-one coaching. But the point is that when is in virtual settings, we are good. Yes, absolutely, we can do it. However, there is something that is always missing, and this is something that we appreciate when it comes to having the right energy in front of you. And this company, they invest in our presence simply because they are aware that we are more effective being in the place, even for a short period of time. And that's why what I said earlier is, for me, it's important. Doesn't matter the hours. Like I believe that I'm paid to bring results. I'm not paid by the hours. I'm strongly against when people say you pay whatever an X amount of money per hours. That's not the right thing to do, because what if you don't complete your task by that time? What if you have any challenges? So I bring the results, and that's, I believe that any kind of business solution needs to be focused on. AI optimize my time for certain things, so that you are saving me time and money sometimes too. So that's the most important thing. Time will never come back. So my time is precious when I'm there with them, and I want to make sure that they actually invest and they feel the results. Because then when I leave, I need to send a report back, and also they need to evaluate me. And I care to do a good job for the people and the businesses.
I've been part of your mentorships, and I would say absolutely it changed my life. It's one of the best experiences I ever had. And
Thank you.
no online webinar can give you the energy that you might have when you're in person and everyone's getting the hype, feeling it. And it's about you wanting to also receive the mentorship.
I will show you what you want. That is, you as a client, you're looking for a training for the staff, you want to have a cocktail menu, you want to have food cocktail pairing, whatever you want. I'm literally, you ask, you will receive. However, once we are together in the room, you are mine. So there is nothing that what you want the results from the client point of view. And if that result is going to be achieved through doing some specific activities that's going to help you to become a better human being, so you can sell better, so you can communicate better, so you can be a stronger team member, that's what actually you really need. You don't need to learn how to make a cocktail, because the skills, you can always learn that. You don't need to learn how to prepare or plate the food in a beautiful way. You need to understand why that is done in that way. All my mentors, they always say the key component that you need in your life, it doesn't matter the job you do, you need to know how to sell, and you need to know how to communicate. And this is all part of business. And when you know how to sell, so we're talking about even marketing, how can you sell yourself?
Exactly.
You can communicate. And then once you know how to communicate with the people, that's all about it. You're done. Then you can do any job.
If you're able to sell a pen, you're able to sell a penthouse, basically.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And it is the needs of the person.
Which advice can you give to people when it comes to invest in new knowledge?
Who is an advice that has been given to me and is not mine. So I'm quoting someone that is very famous, by the way, in the personal development world, this person. And he always says, invest more in yourself than on your job. The reason is because you are the biggest asset. There is nothing more important than yourself, because they can take away everything from you, but not your knowledge, because that's your brain, that's your mind. So the ability to really reinvent yourself or come out the challenge, that's your ability. It's not the clothes you wear, it's not the book you have, it's not the job you have, because these things can disappear in a matter of minutes.
Exactly.
Not even the partner, like even life and family, like these are not forever. These are not, we take it for granted, but these things are given us for free, that we take it for granted, and then we appreciate the things we pay. So why not starting to actually acquire knowledge to enrich your soul? So 100% invest only mostly on yourself. And of course, you need to give a certain amount of time to the people that you're working with, they are paying you. If you're an employee, it's very important to use that kind of knowledge for others, because knowledge is potential power, right?
I'm pretty sure you know that your last name, Medicamento, in Spanish
Yes.
means medicine.
Yes.
And in a sort of a way, you're a curator. You're curator of
Yeah.
cocktails, curator of experiences.
Yeah,
You've been working
exactly.
in one of the best hotels in the world.
I have to say my last name saved me a couple of times. Saved me in a funny way, by the way. So I don't want to say nothing wrong happened so far. It will not happen, nothing wrong. And it's every time a Spanish speaker person, or even Portuguese, Romanian, of course Italian, where I come from, they understand my last name. That's the first question they ask me. Do you know what does it mean? And then from then we make a jokes, and then it's a very good opening for a conversation. It's a very good opening to make some laugh and jokes in the beginning.
People might think it's a silly thing, but the power of the words are everything. And even if you have a name that it relates to sadness or something like that, it can have a powerful impact throughout your whole life.
Yeah. Word in any shape and forms are the key component of communication. Back in the history, we had the people, the storytellers. They were going around in the countries, traveling with on horses and singing around the fire. So they were singing or sharing stories based on where they come from or what they experience. Now we have the AI era where with your own words as human being, you need to give a prompt to an AI to generate a certain thing. So how effective you are, how clear you are, and it plays a crucial role in the final result.
You're right. Okay. And was it always easy for you to be a public speaker?
That's a beautiful question. So let's analyze in two different aspects. If you want to see it public speaking is going on stage or speaking in front of people. And the second one is actually crafting the way of communicating, just to make it very simple. And the first part, yes, was always easy for me, always easy. The reason is because since I was a child, my parents always put me in a situation of dancing, be a dancer. So for me, it was a normal thing to go out and do competition or preparing a choreography and go on stage and perform. And then up to the level to teach, I also used to teach dancing. So I used to teach salsa. So for me, was always a good thing to practice my skills, my physical skills, to then transfer the skills to other people. When it comes to actually being good as communicator, I don't think I was that effective. As personality as I am, I'm obsessed with understanding the communication. I'm obsessed in getting better. How can I make the person feeling better? Or is this word literally really make sense based on what I want to say? So I always had that kind of curiosity, but I never invested enough in this skill until a few years ago when I started to. And yes, now I'm a confident as communicator. There is always a next level. There is always something that I'm learning. I'm constantly learning. Like if you see all the books behind me, this majority, half of them, these literally behind my shoulder. I don't know how much you can see, but majority of them, they are all communication books. So how to speak, preparation for speeches. This speech was done in this year, so try to this intonation. There is so much out of it that communication is a very important thing, especially when you're in front of an audience. And so,
and when
yes.
you're not communicating in your mother tongue as well, because in your case, your English is your second language.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, if I have to speak English, I need to do training. I only do in English. The reason is because each language has a specific word to be used that makes sense for the language itself. So this means that if I have to go to deliver a training in Italian, most likely I will feel challenged because
Really?
all the personal development topics I studied only in English. So that's my roots of initiation. And I can give you an example. When I was young, I used to play as a semi-professional footballer. So this means that when I moved to the UK, and a few years ago, for the love of football that I used to have, I don't have much anymore now. Actually, I don't think I have it. I really wanted to, just after COVID, during COVID, the only things we were allowed to do was to go out. And was going out in a park, and I saw a charity. I discovered after they were a charity. They were using football to help the children to stay away from the streets, just to make a better decision through football. So the coaches, they were an important role in their life. So they used football. So what I did is when I said, hey, can I help? Can I volunteer? And that was the challenge for me, translating from what I know in my knowledge in Italian to translate in English. So that is actually that I needed to literally unlearn and learn a new way of speaking, because I know I already have a background of the topic. Whilst now communication, public speaking, personal development, they're all topics about I only read in English. So now switching to the Italian or even in Spanish, because when I travel to Mexico, Dominican Republic, sometimes I'm forced to speak Spanish. Okay. I say forced because I want to make sure that they understand what I'm talking about. And the same thing, so I need to find the right word. What does it really mean? So that's why English for now, when it comes to this topic, is the number one word, the language that I prefer.
And which book could you recommend me, in my case, to evolve my public speaking skills?
Okay. Very interesting. Okay. So let's say one thing. There are many different way of seeing public speaking, and each of the book or speaker or author, if you want to call in that case, they deliver a certain way of speaking. If you go for a TEDx, there is a way of communicating. If you go for becoming a motivational speaker, there is another way of seeing things. If you go for another style, can be a mix of training and speaking. There is another way of saying things. So to answer to your question, there are books from Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie, he did actually a line of a book on communication. For example, what is it? Is The Art of Public Speaking. Public speaking is not about books, it's about practicing. I would strongly recommend to maybe join in organization like Toastmasters International. That's where I started, because it's a very approachable, like very affordable option that you pay an annual fee and you can always go to meetings. And inside there is so much in there as options. But if you're patient, you can go there. You go to the long way. If not, you go to a course, and in 2-3 days, everything is cranked. They squeeze you, and then you get out and say, "Oh my God, I don't know if I learned enough because there is so much." And then all of a sudden, you are too comfortable and confident as a speaker. This is one of the reasons, for example, Maria, I when I started to do my trainings in public speaking, because I loved it. Mm-hmm. I didn't do enough. I didn't do enough of that, so there was so much request from it that people asked me, I really want to do it. Can you please? You've been referred. You want to do the? So there was a very big audience of people. When I say big, it means more than 50 people. They wanted it multiple times.
Lately, I've been practicing at my local church. So it's a good way, and I don't have to prepare myself, just speak from my heart, and it takes me less than 5 minutes to say something. And it's like when you drive a car, the best way is practicing.
Completely agree. It's all about practicing. And I do have a public speaking seminar that actually I'm readjusting. Actually, since we met, I was starting to look at it again. And I also designed, I have here the draft here, the workbook. Like there are I printed the workbook to see how it is, and I need to change the title, but there are all marks here, there, and but also this is also online as a version. So because I can't, the goal for me, and that's why AI come handy. I want to reach as many people possible. So if you can't travel to London, or for whatever reason you can't do that day, well, there is an online version already recorded that is there on the platform, there to serve you. And then, of course, I always give options in case you want to work later. It's for me, it's about tools are out there, and there are a lot of tools out there. Just is you to make that tool useful for whatever you need.
Yeah. And which challenges are you currently experiencing in order to get to that point?
Good question. The challenges I have at the moment is that mostly based on me being focused on what I'm going to achieve, because I'm starting to get a lot of interest from abroad companies in training, in speaking, and the challenge is that I would love to have someone to come with me, or even just take footage, and then or whatever I have the material to just look after my material. You can make sure that it's posted and the message is delivered. I have so much recorded on my phone that it doesn't share. I don't share because
lack of time.
It's lack of time. Also, I always say it's a lack of skills. I don't want to learn to be a social media manager, because I am the person that is representing. I'm the person that represents the company, and I believe this is one of the best recommendations I had so far. You need to learn everything, yes, but also you need to invest in your strength, and you hire people on your weaknesses. So
we're the same. I'm the face of my company, but I have a staff of 40 people behind me, and they pretty much do most of the boring parts, because it's impossible for us to be multitasking, and we just want to focus on growing the brand.
Yes, absolutely, exactly. So I'll make an example. I will most likely have soon a speech for a big crowd, and a big client, and I would love to have someone to come and do videos of me, to do something. Just that if I do it on myself, who is the person that is going to help me to then cut the video? No, let's use this one, this and this and this. So that's actually the challenge I'm personally having. I would love to go out more often, and I don't have a problem to take the phone, record myself a video, and shoot it online. It's not a problem. However, there at some point I decided to have a kind of a structure of what I want to share, why am I sharing it. I adjusted a little bit my Instagram bio recently. Friends gave me some recommendation about it, how to improve it. So all of these small bits and bobs, they are compounding on the overall personality I have. And yeah, I want to stay as much as possible in front of the people, in front of an audience. And but if you don't know me,
by having the right strategy, it's not going to be just like posting and feeling like you're speaking on mute, because you're not going to reach the target audience.
Yeah.
So that's when it comes quite handy to have an expert to guide you, or to simply outsource that service. And you know that social media can read our thoughts now.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, exactly.
If someone, for example, I've been thinking, okay, I want to become also a great public speaker, or I want to learn how to become a mixologist, and I'm just thinking about it. And you're posting content about that. If you invest in the right strategy, it's guaranteed that your content will be shown to these people.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I noticed recently is that just because I'm actually committed myself on posting constantly, but also observing the data. And what I do, sometimes I post a trial reel. This means that I post to people that are not my followers, because I want to see how I want to test my market, if what I'm sharing in that moment is relevant to the people I want to reach. Because my followers, of course, they follow me for a reason. So, but I want to reach more people. And when it comes to this, it's a very game changer. It's a game changer. And there are some data they told me to look at. For example, if you don't reach minimum 500 views, is not relevant much to the audience you want to reach. For example, they shared with me recently.
I always say views are fans. What we want is to monetize. And it's not only about Meta ads, Google ads, Spotify ads, YouTube. These days, you can even advertise on the app, for example, like Airbnb, even on Bumble and Tinder. If you want to sell something specific there for that audience, you can do it. And it's something that maybe just a couple of years ago, no one would even thought about it.
Yeah. Well, it would be a nice idea to propose, learn how to communicate with your future wife or husband, public speaking course on Tinder.
No, for example, I have clients, they are selling makeup. And women, they want to look beautiful before they go on a date. And makeup is advertised there.
Yeah.
What else could be advertised there maybe for men? Condoms.
Smell good.
That will be the best place to advertise. And let's say it like this. If you are you're on the beach and you want to sell snowboarding gear, it doesn't make any sense, right? Because nobody's going to buy it. And it's not because the gear is not good quality. It's about having the right product at the right target audience.
Absolutely. Correct. Absolutely.
And diverging off topic, you mentioned that you've been to some bars that there are already robots mixing the cocktails.
I saw them, Holborn area, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a bar that is a part of a gaming company. So you can see this huge arm, robot arm that grab the spirits and make a cocktail, and off you go, basically, with the cocktail done. Some others, they have machines. I saw. So interesting. One day a guy came to me during a fair, hospitality fair, said, "No, would you like to try this machine? It does automatically 57 cocktails. I said, okay, how does it work? No, I just click the button and it's going to select it's like a coffee machine, just the only difference is it pour cocktail. And I said, I don't think it's going to work out for me. Like, maybe you can give it a pop. I really agree with that. So I saw that, and I saw in the formerly is not anymore Hard Rock Cafe in Marylebone. They used to have these trolleys that were carrying the food on trays up to the closer to the station of the waiter, so closer to where the waiter is supposed to serve, and then the waiter was just simply placing the food on the table whilst explaining the food. So that's what I saw.
And I know that in Japan, there are restaurants where the robots serve the clients, but the people that are operating the robots, they are doing it from home, and they all have physical disabilities.
Wow, I didn't know that. I knew
That is
of the
very,
robot.
very
Amazing.
inspiring. We cannot
Yes,
just
I love
think
it.
that AI is replacing everyone, which
No.
is a reality, but we also have to focus on the good things, because these people maybe are paralyzed, and that doesn't mean their mind it's not working.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know that. That's very good news. I
Yeah,
love. Thank you for sharing.
yeah. I have coders that also paraplegic, but their minds, they're genius in whatever they do with these telepathic ads and stuff. I cannot understand that at 100%, because to be honest, no one really knows what AI is. And there's
Mhm.
not gonna be a human in history that is gonna be smarter than AI.
That for sure.
Yeah, and they develop different abilities that maybe us as regular people don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know Steve
Steve
Hawkins,
Jobs.
right? No.
Hopkins. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
A
even though
genius.
yeah, and he couldn't speak, but then he found a way to communicate everything he was thinking, and that was
And
really inspiring. Like, the boundaries are only in your mind. No one can tell you what you can't or can't do but you.
I cannot agree more. Like, there is a famous quote by Henry Ford that says, "If you say you can't, or if you say you can, either way, you're right." That's it. It's the thought that make it so. Thoughts are matter. Is that thoughts are things, and we don't realize that everything is in the outside world, in outer world, is a byproduct of what we thought initially. So someone had an idea, say, I want to have this design, I want to do this. So everything that is outside is a byproduct of our intelligence. Even AI is a product of our creation. So definitely, everything we can create everything.
You are correct. And for the people who's gonna watch this episode and they would be interested in having a mentorship, how can they reach you? And can you briefly explain exactly which services could you provide for them?
Yeah, absolutely. So specifically for the mentorship, so just want to clarify one thing, just for clarity. Mentor and coaching are two different things. Okay, the mentor is a person. Number one, things you need to find the right mentor in this way. There are two. This is something that I learned and has been taught to me, and that's why I follow now a very narrow amount of people. Before I was following everyone. Now I'm very mindful about it.
Mhm.
So you follow the person that you need to be mentored by is who you listen to. Basically, there are two criteria. Is the person, if the person has been where you are, like understand where you come from as a past, maybe is also similar industry, but doesn't have to be, but understand where you come from. Does this person had your same struggles, or maybe was just in a wealthy family comparing with yours. So these are the things to take in consideration. So as being where you are and have what you want, whatever is the level of success you're looking for, this person needs to tick these boxes. So these are very important things. So when you look for a mentor, but this is who you listen to is applicable to everything, because you can have maybe a person that has everything that you really want, but maybe is stronger in some field. So think about whatever you want to learn, you go for it. So mentorship, coming back to the initial conversation, is mentorship is a person that share his or her point of views, and the mentor basically says, hey, if I will be me, I will do this. That's what I've done. And it gives you direction, it gives you suggestion, but it's a kind of a conversation like we are having now. So when you have a person say, hey, I'm going through this struggle, what do you recommend? So that's a mentor. So it's a person that guide you through. And of course, when it comes to having a conversation, you need time. You need to dedicate time. And of course, there is an X amount of time we can be able to dedicate. When it comes to the coaching is basically is a person that is an extension. I can be the same mentor and coach for you. So we can have a chat absolutely on the side. If you have a message to send, hey, I'm going through this, what do you think about it? And I can share my own ideas. But it's always my own ideas, but this not means that you should take the decision for it. Because what works for me does not mean that works for you. So always don't take for granted some decision or some answer people are giving you. The coach is a person that, in my personal experience as a coach, I have a specific certification that is a psychology neuroscience study. So it's called neuroencoding. So this means that through how you speak, how you move, and what you say, I'm going to understand if you are really saying the truth from the soul or you're just hiding something. So the goal of the coach is working on what you want, from where you are to where you want to be, and what are we going to do with that, and how can I keep you accountable with what we are talking about. So the coach, most likely, 100% is going to be a paid job. So if you want a coach that is going to bring you where you want to be, fantastic. As long as the coach inspires you, is someone that you like, that you can feel motivated. And anyway, coaching can be 3-6 months, usually 12 months. It depends, but there is a minimum amount of time of commitment, because you can't expect something for nothing. It's not, I paid, I expect results. Hold on, you need to put the work on. So me as a coach, I'm going to keep you accountable for that. And that's the most effective thing. Whilst a mentor is like, yeah, someone that you admire, you are inspired by, but still I'm sharing my ideas and you take it for granted. I'm not going to come back to you and say, hey, did you do it? Because it's not in my entitlement to do it. I want to give you some tips, but then you need to do the work. Whilst coaching is fantastic. You told me to do that. How are you doing it? We have follow-up calls. We have so many things happening. And so I want to make sure that I'm on top of you. So these are the two things, Maria. And when it comes to mentoring coaching, I'm actually launched recently, very recently. It's officially open, just I need to do more marketing material and I need to be more out. A community that is called the Wealthy Bartender.
Bravo!
Thank you. And you know, it's about, it's not just bartending, it's about how can you leverage the job you do in our industry. Because we often listen conversations to people. And we often, if you work in a luxury environment, you listen to very wealthy people. So potentially they are the people that you would like to aspire to be in their position. Whatever is the wealth that you can be, also a soul, a spiritual wealth. It doesn't matter. It's not just a financial thing. But these are people, they are few steps ahead. So if you want to achieve something better in your life, you follow people that basically they have what you want. So how can you leverage that conversation? This means leverage your job to go into this kind of conversation. How can you learn about investing? That's what I done. How can you learn about trading? That's what I learned because I was in that room and asked the question. I was curious to ask the question. Or how can you feel worthy of be in a room full of millionaires when you're not? Because if you're in that room, I can tell you you are worthy of it. But because the universe provided that situation, but how are you feeling about it? That's the goal. And many people that are in that I come across, that I train, They say, "Ah, no, but how is staying with the rich people? How is staying? What they think, what they do? They're just normal human beings. They just have different results because they took different action than yours. But just because we put ourselves under them, it makes us uncomfortable. So the goal of the Wealthy Bartender community is it's not about the courses that are going to be there, because the courses for me is literally is like a technical skills. You can learn that everywhere. But we're going to have coaching call once a month, a group call is included, is not extra. So it's literally I want to help the industry for that. So that's one of the things I'm launching. And well, people can find me on social media. I'm Nicolas Medicamento. I mean, you will see the name anyway, so you can find it like that. And Dr. Cocktail is the hospitality side I use. And but I always say, if you don't ask, you will never get.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always say as well, when you pay attention. And sometimes
Correct.
you can give an advice to people for free and they
Yeah.
don't really appreciate it. But at the same time, I always say, don't believe what I'm saying. Go ahead and try. I
Yes.
would never say something that I haven't personally experienced and it worked for me. And sometimes that could be disruptive for some people, and they
Mhm.
might think this is not real. She lives in the Lululand, and I don't care. I said,
Yeah.
don't believe me. It's fine.
Look, for example, there is an event in training. I'm assistant training for this company, and they are. I'm actually going to travel next week in Slovenia, and the entry level ticket is 29 euros or pounds. It depends. When they will be in London, it's going to be 29 pounds. That is nothing for a 3 whole day weekend.
Imagine.
But between 29 and 159 a ticket for 3 whole day weekends of learning from one of the best in the industry, still under 60 pounds is nothing for 3 full days. But still, people prefer to go on the 29, but you pay, and the people you pay, you meet the people that pay that amount of money. What if you pay 160 and you meet people that are a higher level of commitment? That's the choice that we always think about. And look, I didn't think about that initially. There is one thing that I always say, well, let me put it's like when you want to try if the water is cold or not, you put the tip of the toe in it. No, just jump in, and then you experience. Just jump in. So it's gonna be cold, yes, but doesn't matter. I mean, you're not gonna die. So that's what many people go through life. No, let me try. No, we don't try anything. Just do it and learn from it. This community that I launched is on school for now. Is on school for now, and I'm testing because school is a big reach. So I'm testing it. The official is open already now. So, but the membership is going to be I think $75 a year.
Imagine.
That is
It's a gift.
like that is nothing. That is nothing. And but still, the reason I put a financial commitment is simply because, as you said, if you don't pay attention. And also, there is a universal law that the universe is going to give you back whatever you wish when they see that you're ready to give. So you need to do some financial commitment for yourself energetically to invest in yourself. And the coaching call, they're going to be on coaching. I'm not going to talk about your complaint about the guest that you had. I don't care about that. I care about you becoming a better person. So stop complaining and start working on it. So that's the value. And when I do the group coaching, I can tell you $75 for the group coaching of a person is not even close to what I charge. But I want to help the community. I want to help the community. And if they want to take it, absolutely, it's fine. If they don't, they are not my crowd. That's it. I just want to work with the right community. Yes. Yeah,
And
that's a
that's
natural
true.
commitment.
And everything is backwards. The more we give, the more we receive.
Yes,
But we have to
exactly.
do it from the heart, not
Yes.
knowing that you're going to do it like this. And the more you invest in yourself, the more you're going to upgrade your mindset, your finances, everything. What's the highest amount you ever invested in yourself?
In one go, in one go or per
To say
year? Okay.
that you were scared, that you would say, oh, maybe this summit or maybe this weekend away or something. They,
Mm,
it's from a millionaire that is already where I want to be. And some mentorships, they're up to 100K, a million. It depends.
yeah. You have multiple figures to think about it, but let's say that the first scary part was when I paid full in cash, like the full in one payment.
Hmm.
I paid £10,000
Exactly.
for just accessing to the courses, and then on top of it, I need to travel to participate. So travels, accommodation, and everything involved in that. But in 1 year, I remember that my accountant for 1 year told me, Nicholas, what the hell are you doing that? I invested almost £35,000 in personal development. So, and I keep buying books. I read books. I'm part of a private members club that is only personal development focused. And that members club is not cheap. No, well, it's not cheap from the commitment. Financially wise, it's still okay now, but I know they're raising prices. So if I strongly recommend if someone would like to take consideration to join in this period before they raise the prices to 3 times more, because they notice that now the threshold is people are joining. So this means they see the value. And like every business, we need to start to filter people that are really committed. Just to give you an example, from $1,500 is going to jump to $5,000 as entry fee.
And you actually get real life results. And
Yes.
there's nothing wrong about going to university. I'm the first one to say, if you
Yeah.
have the opportunity, go for it. The higher education you get, the better. But that doesn't guarantee you the results that maybe you would like to have financially.
I met professors of unis in my field, and they teach business, but they are not in business. They don't run a
Exactly.
business. Like,
There you
can
go.
can you
Yeah.
understand the struggles of a business owner if you don't run it? Maybe you were, but then you decide to get a full-time job as professor. So how can you teach me something that you don't practice? It's like going to personal trainer that eats every day at McDonald's. So what the hell are you talking about? Like,
Exactly.
so yeah, that's one of the things. If you learn from people that are on the field that are actually doing it, is not a shortcut, but it's definitely receiving information more effectively and more real than waiting an X amount of years to learn something that you anyway when you get out you're behind the timings.
And you then have to unlearn it because you have to do it differently when you get the job, for example.
Correct. Exactly. Yes, exactly. And anyway, the salary you're gonna get is not gonna cover all the expenses you spent for the last few years at uni. So
It's a reality. So
yes.
these courses now with AI, it's an accelerator for you to have access to knowledge that is not maybe available for everyone out there. But I mean, if you do your research, you can find whatever you need to, and you don't have to wait years in order to see results
Completely
of
agree.
whatever we want to do.
Yeah, completely agree. Well, think about, better than me. Back in the days, if you want to create a website, you needed an X amount of time, hours, months, go back and forth. Let me do the code. I need to write, I know this is missing here. Now the AI doesn't matter of minutes, and you just say yes and no, add this, and it's done. Like the time is completely cut to nothing. And the time that we are saving, we need to use it wisely.
I always like to finish my interviews asking to my guests the same question. If you had 1 minute with all the cameras in the world, internet, television, radio, and you can give an advice to humanity, what would you tell them?
Remember that you are part of the beautiful universal energy that connects all of us. Don't forget to be human. We are one as part of the spiritual energy too. So act from the place of love always, and remember to connect with other people more than technology. just connect with people and use the technology.
Yeah, I recently joined this group that it's called Walk and Talk.
Oh, I
It's
like it.
usually every Saturday or Sunday. We go to different parks here in London,
Uh-huh.
and nobody's on their phone. You meet people from every walk of life. And so far, I've been having a lot of fun. I mean, I bring my phone because I have to check some, like the location or just in case. But once I'm there, my phone goes on flight mode and the walk lasts for an hour.
Mhm.
And everyone says the same. We need digital detox.
It's fascinating that now we're going back on the time to connect again. And people are paying for that. There are digital detox weekend. There is a company, I don't remember the name now, but if you Google it, like you can find it. They have different small rooms in the middle of nowhere where basically the rule is that for the whole weekend from Friday evening to the whole Sunday that you check out, for the whole Monday, depending on how long you want to stay, but they say weekend, you literally close your phone in a locker, like with a key, and you don't open again. Or there are clubs in London that are organizing a book club or a like you go in, you leave the phone on the side, and then you go in this room where people are reading, they're playing chess. Like, it's crazy to think about that we need to pay for that. When like I can't like, really, are we doing that? When the most beautiful things we can do is literally call a friend up, let's go for a coffee, let's have a chat. And but luckily these things are happening. There is more awareness, and I'm very grateful for that.
That was a fantastic conversation. Really appreciate your time today. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. See you next time.